Man, I am tired of seeing this view. Jeez. On today's episode of When Dads Gets Bored, we're gonna go ahead and remove and install a new drive shaft. What happened was the flange or U-joint that connects the drive shaft to the rear diff had loose bolts, and when I replaced my drive shaft coupler, which I didn't film, when I put the new one on there, it revealed that that vibration in the back. Either that or it shook the loose bolts out. So doing that, excuse me, it's hot, sweating. Gotta love Houston in the summer. So yeah, I placed the axles, vibration didn't stop. Then I got with my service manager above me or whatever, and he let him test drive it or whatever to confirm what I was thinking, that the drive shaft was either out of balance or damaged. And he agreed with me that it's most likely in the drivetrain, the vibration that it was feeling. You can feel it in the gear shift and everything like that. So I called around seeing if I can get the drive shaft repaired or balanced, just in case it was out of balance. But they said that 2018 plus Mustang GTs, the drive shaft can't be repaired or balanced because of the CV axle style. The CV axle style flange at the back of the drive shaft, and that they have to be replaced. So I tried to see if I can have one built, but they don't even build them because of that CV axle that's on the back of that drive shaft. So tried to get one ordered offline, have one overnighted, but I don't like the process of that. They would send that order to a random dealership and have the dealership try to mail that to me, but that part is a specialty part, come to find out, that has to come from Ford if you want the original one. My car doesn't make any horsepower enough that can justify getting a one-piece drive shaft, and I didn't like the way the feel of them either. They're kind of clunky to me, and this is my daily driver, and I'm not gonna be racing it, except on the highway if you try me. But so I decided to go, and it was cheaper to get the factory one. So I had to go through instead of going through one of those dealerships from some known, I went to one of the Ford dealerships, called one of the Ford dealerships in Houston, and had them order me one. And it's supposed to take 2 days. So this is going to be a 2-day video. Today is just the day I'm going to take the old one off to get it ready for when the new one comes in and I get off of work. I can come straight home and just put it in so I can have my car before Monday. Go ahead and get this started. I already got the car up on jack stands. I got the back and the front up so I can have plenty of room to get underneath it. The first thing I'm going to do is remove my axle backs and maybe my mid pipe. You see my axle backs are 3-inch and my H pipe is 2.5-inch. So it does this. So yeah, that's just another thing that's going to be getting fixed. So yeah, how you gonna remove it? I got the hangers right there. Those hangers have a 13mm bolt holding them up. So I'm gonna remove that 13mm bolt and remove my axle backs. And then I think that's 15mm bolts holding the H pipe on. So I'm probably gonna remove those too, just so it can be out the way, so I don't have to worry about having issues with going around it. Yeah, so, and I'm gonna take it out, and then I'm gonna inspect the carrier bearing, because I think that's what went bad. The CV axle eventually went bad and caused the carrier bearing to go bad, and the other day it was just vibrating and clicking like crazy. So yeah, and I'm thinking maybe that drive shaft coupler. Maybe it wasn't, when we put on the drive shaft, it wasn't balanced to the transmission. I'm going to look at that too as I'm taking it apart. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the drive shaft damaged. I'm like 100%, like 99% sure that is the drive shaft at this point. CV axle has been replaced. Coupler, that's going to replace, even though the new one's going to come with, one. But also, this is a coupler for a 2017 Mustang too, so I don't know if that makes a big difference. Just one of those things. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff that was so done or whatever, but you know, it's my baby now. It's my responsibility. I'm gonna get it right. Just gonna take time and a little bit of sweat, like today. So all right, let me get to it. All right, I got my mid pipe and I took this down pipe down, and got my axle backs off. It was actually 2 more 13mm bolts towards the tips of the axle back. So yeah, looking at it now, but this is what I think. This is what, I don't know if you can see that movement, how much that's what's causing the rattle. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be separating and all that. It's worn out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this off. I'm gonna look at this. Gotta put the car in neutral so I can spin it around. But I'll check it, take it off, and look and see if there's any alignment marks, so I'll know when the new one goes on. And yeah, just the flange. You can see all the grease came out of this CV joint right here and wore out. And these bolts right here were super loose. One of them was actually almost coming out. Pray to God it didn't do any other damage to the diff or anything like that. Transmission, no leaks or nothing like that. And you can see like all this stuff is, I don't know if this is from, what this is from. But yeah, I don't think there's a play in the flange. All right, let me get this off so I can take a look at it. All right, I got my mid pipe and I took this down pipe down, and got my axle backs off. It was actually 2 more 13mm bolts towards the tips of the axle back. So yeah, looking at it now, but this is what I think. This is what, I don't know if you can see that movement, how much that's what's causing the rattle. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be separating and all that. It's worn out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this off. I'm gonna look at this. Gotta put the car in neutral so I can spin it around. But I'll check it, take it off, and look and see if there's any alignment marks, so I'll know when the new one goes on. And yeah, just the flange. You can see all the grease came out of this CV joint right here and wore out. And these bolts right here were super loose. One of them was actually almost coming out. Pray to God it didn't do any other damage to the diff or anything like that. Transmission, no leaks or nothing like that. And you can see like all this stuff is, I don't know if this is from, what this is from. But yeah, I don't think there's a play in the flange. All right, let me get this off so I can take a look at it. Oh, by the way, when you take this off, it's I want to believe it's 6 of these 10mm bolts, and those are, I want to say 15, and those are 18, and they have a, one of them have a nut on the back of them. I think the one with the 18 on it or the 15. And then you have these two 13mm bolts holding up the center carrier bearing. Okay, so I got all the bolts out of the back flange or CV joint. Got 3 bolts that holds the drive shaft onto the transmission off. Now I'm gonna remove these carrier bearing bolts. And also, look at this. Can't really, that fucking thing is, yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be that loose. Alright, so I got my drive shaft out. I'm exhaust fan all around. Just gonna have to leave this cocked and leave the wifey car parked outside because it can't move, and I'm not taking it off the jack stands. So when the new part come in, I'll just go ahead and just put it in and go about my day. Yeah, but I really think it's that carrier bearing, man. It's like, I don't know how loose it's supposed to be, or I don't know. So we shall see. And I did notice that this timing mark wasn't lined up with the rear, but I did just turn it the last time I tried to tighten it up to see if that would make a difference. But yeah, I didn't see any alignment marks on the front half. So I don't know, hopefully, I think that's just dirt from being dragged by somebody or something. So hopefully, I mean, look at that. I mean, that doesn't look right to me. Look how they offset like that. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. Why is it offset? I mean, it's straight like this here, and even then it's still like, I guess it's centered. It just looks weird from the other side. Alright, I'll continue this video tomorrow when the part comes in, but for y'all it'll be a couple seconds. Alright, so it is the next day, and the part did come in like they said. So shout out to Doggett Ford here in Houston, Texas for the great customer service. And here it is. And I'm getting a late start today. It's already getting dark, so I'm probably not going to do too much filming, but it's basically the same thing I showed y'all, but just reverse. Come with new bolts. The only thing I'm concerned about is I don't know if these, they got a yellow dot on the diff, so I don't know if these need to line up or this blue line, because they do have a blue line on the diff. So yeah, we will see. This is pretty much got this, I don't know if it had the same or the amount of slack, but it's not whistling like the other one. Hold on, let me see if I can. I can't really hold it and show you. The other one, you can't hear it, but this one is quiet. What the fuck? Are you serious? Jesus, look at this. Oh my God. All right, so round 2. The last video clip you seen was Saturday night when I got the new drive shaft in and tried to temp it. As you seen, I opened it up and the ear off the carrier bearing was broken, so I had to return it. Today is now Wednesday, and we have the new one here. All right, I already checked it out at the store to make sure it was good, because I didn't want to drive another 30 minutes back. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing finally installed and get the rocking. Oh yeah, I did something too while I was bored waiting on it. I painted my calipers. like I did the front. So yeah, he has a little paint on the rotors, but I'll go ahead and get that off before I put the tires on. All right, I'll update y'all once I get started and let you know the steps I've done. Oh, and before I put them on, I'm gonna take each one of these bolts, which are 10-meter bolts, and I'm gonna take and put blue Loctite on them, just so I don't have to worry about them before I torque them down to spec. And this is the alignment dots, what I'm told, and they have another yellow dot on the differential, and we're gonna line those up and get those perfect. Then I'm gonna do the front, and then I'm gonna do the middle. These are 40 foot-pounds of torque, 30 something foot-pounds of torque, and 80 foot-pounds of torque. Sorry about that, I kind of got carried away and ended up finishing it. She's back on the ground now, but all I did was hold it up with my knees and my hands and tighten down the bolts, which were 40 foot-pounds on the flange that went to the differential, 30 foot-pounds for the carrier bearing, and 80 foot-pounds for the what you want to call it, the coupler that goes to the transmission is 80 pounds. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go on the test drive right now, ride around a good little bit, because last time I know the shaking didn't come for a few miles. So I'll give it a good test drive and then I'll update you guys. All right, I'm just making it back home, man, and she drove amazing. I don't think it felt that good when I first got this car. If you don't know this car, I bought this car used with like 20-something thousand miles on it, and it didn't feel as good as it feels now. It's straight. Well, it's always been straight, but it just feels like the power is like there instantly with those new axles and the new drive shaft. Right now, I'm just cleaning up my mess. Car's been in here for like a week and a half, and tools and boxes and everything's been everywhere. Look at my toolbox. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this straight and get this done. And thank y'all for checking out this video once again. It's been a long month for me chasing down this vibration, man, and I am drained. And hopefully, you know, everything, I know I'm a little greasy. I've been sweating. It's hot in here in Texas. So hopefully everything remains good. I only drove probably like 10 miles, you know, but I didn't feel anything, any change or anything like that, or felt like anything was loosened. No noises, no ticking, none of that. So, all right, thank you for checking out When Dad Gets Bored. I'm out.
And wanting anything is the way to speak to the world. If you want something so bad and you speak it into power, you wish it into power, it's gonna happen. I'm firsthand, and I firsthand will tell you that. And I put my life on it. If you want something so bad, it will happen.